Program Proposal by Joshua Lyon. Proposal Overview. Introduction, Rationale, Program Standards and Learning Objectives, Career Development Interventions, Delivery, Program Marketing, Resources and Costs, Program Evaluation. This program that is being proposed is for Restore the Family Military Transitions, is called Teen to Special Operator Education and Preparation. The population this program serves falls within the age group 16 to 19 who are researching about or are interested in military or government service with a passing Armed Services Vocational Aptitude Battery, or ASVAB, or RTFMT Military Personality Assessment. There is no career development program in this topic at this level, which is this rich, full, intensive, and professional. This program will be delivered in 3 places. Each client can attend the location that they wish. The first location is Appalachian High School. Although presentations will be given at as many schools as possible, Appalachian has offered their school for program delivery on non-event Saturdays. The second location is the RTFMT office. The final location is the residence of the client accompanied by a parent as RTFMT pushes one-on-one service. Rationale, validity of the program. One key area of my knowledge comes from my observations from 5 years in service, with 2 years in South Korea and 2 deployments, Haiti and Afghanistan. I did not meet too many soldiers who were right where they wanted to be. Many soldiers found themselves in a psychological component of career rut. They would never go for what they want, and they did not. Example continued. For Army Military Police, there are other avenues to analyze for career satisfaction. Those are Canine Handler, Military Police Investigator, or MPI, Criminal Investigation Department, or CID, Special Reactions Team, or SRT, Air Assault, Airborne, to rise up in the ranks of leadership, Drill Sergeant, and more. There were only a handful of soldiers who went on to do what they wanted. That is the same for today, but they all wanted either a combat, law enforcement, or combination role of the two. Basic MP or 8-year plan is not career development, as most, 1, do not attain sergeant. Veterans are asked about sergeant a lot to see if they have that leadership training. 2, do not obtain a degree or certification for afterwards. 3, do not have career conversations. 4, they feel unaccomplished. And 5, there's no career development process. It is the same across the board. Rationale program design. RTFMT Military Enlistment's Teen to Special Operator program came to be designed because of the needs of the population in the program. The foundation started with the list of special operation careers, including support teams, which is a humongous list, which most people don't know 95% of those careers. For clients, RTFMT has assessments already in place that will be used to assess each client for special operations or support roles. The assessment is semi-structured. The development needs of the program were designed using top standards of the special operations field and translating them to next steps and processes for the clients by military transition professionals or MTP and counselors. The career development theory associated with this is social cognitive career theory, or SCCT. Components of that theory, a few of the components of that theory are outcome expectations and personal goals. This theory has both high research support and multicultural emphasis. This theory works well with minorities and students studying science, technology, engineering, mathematics, and medicine, or STEM. A new study was conducted to assess it on African Americans with disabilities at a college, pushing the fact that students need more than tuition support, and working with students across the spectrum of their challenges decreased dropout rates. Lastly, SCCT is a good fit also for women and the military. Program standards and learning objectives. 6 chosen National Career Development Association standards. 1. Identify ways to be proactive in marketing yourself for a job. 2. Demonstrate participation in informal learning experiences. 3. Assess throughout your life how well you integrate both formal and informal learning experiences. 4. Assess how well your career planning strategies facilitate reaching your goals. 5. Analyze your career plan and make adjustments to reflect ongoing career management needs. And 6. Demonstrate attainment of general employability skills and personal qualities needed to be successful in school and employment. The 3 learning objectives of this program are: by termination of services, clients will be able to analyze career trajectories, educational routes, and standards of assessment. By termination of services, clients will be able to apply growth and self-care strategies. And 3, by termination of services, clients will be able to obtain principles that promote good moral character and the achievement of their goals. Career development interventions. Here is the list of 4 interventions which have appropriate levels of cultural sensitivity that are used in the program. Future trends intervention regarding their specific career of choice. Multiple life roles. Counseling-based career assistance. And group. After all the other practical interventions, this is where teens can put some information to use practically, and they are prompted to discuss special operations standards from specific information to special operations culture. Down, future trends intervention. In this intervention, there's a lot of research and homework for the client, as counselors and coaches do not give advice or advise what is normal. The client is assisted by a coach as they delve into the occupation trends and history. The client will be introduced to the growth of technology and other facets of this industry that they have implemented. The coach, counselor, or client will not know the information for this intervention. This is a research-based intervention. Multiple life roles. In this intervention, the counselor will work with the client in finding the roots of the life they want and assessing the roles they come across. They will work together on an integration process if the client deems that is something they can be. Each step of the way, the client may change directions based on information. That is why we are here. Counseling-based career assistance. In this intervention, which is before and after group, the counselor works with the client about aspects that arise which may be a problem, such as self-esteem, feelings of being overwhelmed, and other emotions that may come up. In the program, this intervention is the third time or fourth time the counselor has seen the client. In the delivery section of this paper, more information about the process is discussed. In group, in this intervention, after all the other practical interventions have been completed, this is where teams put some information to use practically into real-world occupation topics. They are prompted to discuss special operation standards, special operations culture, technology used, the key principles of the job, and other aspects. Life outside of careers. Interventions are intertwined. It is important to understand how interventions will make the greatest impact. This program is a psychosocial approach. Providers and coaches constantly assess it. One study examined gaps in the interventions and implementations in psychotherapy and explained how user-centered design principles should be infused into intervention designs. Our interventions need to be evaluated often to be what we teach. Future trends, evidence-based, diversified in values and cultures, and psychosocial. We assist and serve individuals as God made everyone with different gifts, personalities, and calls. Program delivery. A common practice is to develop and design services to serve our greatest extent possible to implement as much time-saving innovations as we can. It is best practice to not let a client go through the motions and check out because they were unable to get what they needed. We will not run into it. The designer of this program has usually been left with more questions than ones answered in any mass-produced material and courses. Operations is very technical due to the surreal facts of personal responsibility on deployments. Army Special Forces specifically train foreign military all over the world and are responsible to lead them into combat. Counselors understand the gravity of this. The key, I would say, that needs to be at the forefront of all who read and hear this is something the Department of Defense said, and that is one of the 5 SOF truths of the United States Special Operations Command, and that is Special Operation Forces cannot be mass-produced. As close to one-on-one as possible produces that caliber. Regular military personnel are produced at high quantities. The client will go through employment assessment or 2 in intake with a counselor, and then do a follow-up interpretation session. Next, starts career research with a military transition professional. This setting is a classroom type where a coach will have up to 5 clients in their own separate research and educational branches, special operation history, and more. This leads to learning aspects. This leads to a 4th session to learning aspects of their 5 selected units and the future trends is intervention with the MTP. We try to get the client to do a broad research and then bring their selection down to 5 occupations, and then from there we would deduct it down to 1 or 2 that they will run with. The 5th session is multiple life role session with the MPT. The sixth session is counseling-based career assistance to process what they have learned already and are experiencing. The next session is group, where they will interact with others who intend to be in the special operations community. The last session here, they will see a counselor again to wrap up and to re-examine the skills needed for future analysis. In this termination session, the counselor will go back and forth through the program standards and learning objectives for true completion. After this, the MTP will also double check the client has all the handouts and material that the program gives out. And finally, the counselor will schedule a follow-up for the future to assess for RTFMT's current service member and assistance program, CSFAP. This appointment is also used to follow up for the study, for the evaluation. Program marketing. One aspect of marketing is school presentations, affiliating all RTFMT's team programs, which are two additional ones: general career field assessment and preparation, and federal employment. This route will bring information to the target audience and detail the importance of the service for reaching their goals. Before presentations is the feedback and innovation step of business. After this proposal, if approved, begins this step of obtaining a group of people connected to the RTFMT board of directors to assess and give feedback. The program, along with others, will be presented to the associated party, which is military bases, veteran parents, federal and state offices. Additionally, like other programs in RTFMT, there will be brochures to hand out to students. In the brochure is a bookmark about the program to use in their textbooks. There are retired soldiers, one Special Forces and one Ranger, so far, who have agreed to talk with clients. Video promotion material for different units will be added to school presentations. Most of the top tier units do have a recruiting video that we would go through with clients. Costs and resources. There is a good list of materials and resources for this program. In some events, MTPs are volunteers, as RTFMT is a nonprofit. Since this is not always the case, paid staff will be added in. To start, I will calculate 2 MTPs, 1 counselor, and 1 manager. In addition to this, cost of paper and ink, assessment software, refreshments, office space, and computers. The estimated cost, rounded up, is $330,000 per year. Evaluation plan. There are 2 methods in which this program will be evaluated. One is follow-up study. The second is questionnaire and interview. What we are looking at in terms of success of the program falls under 2 areas. First is, did the client obtain a position in special operations if that is the route they intended to go? That's the biggest thing that we're looking at. And the second is, did the client, whether they went into special operations or not, believe the program was an invaluable service in which allowed them to assess for themselves their goals in an integrative fashion with their lifestyle and values. This lines up with the program's objectives, so it is the objectives in this case that are being measured. In practical application to counseling. Applications to counseling that can be identified from this program are working with teens ages 16 to 19 regarding developing career plans, visualizing long-term goals, trauma and abuse counseling, life changes, family and relationships, and the goal of joining the Special Operations community under one of the units of the United States Special Operations Command oversees. Thank you for joining me.